Yo, what is up, stream? Today we're gonna be doing some more HoloCure right before the new update, and it looks good. I am excited. So something I didn't even realize, because they did the, and I said this before, they did the release date, right? February 10th is when the new update's gonna go live. And so with that, they paired it with a video demonstrating kind of what all the new characters, quote unquote, did. So like kind of all basic attacks, supers, and something I'd never really noticed, and I felt really dumb for not, because it was so blatantly obvious, but I guess I'm just not perceptive at all, is that they're adding 2 new maps, like the Halloween stage they kind of were showing off, and then the the big circle one. And I don't know how I never even realized that before, because it is so obvious that that's a new map. I always thought they were like, oh yeah, background. It just never clicked for me, and I feel so absolutely stupid. But anyways, new update February 10th, 6 days away. Unfortunately, it is on a Friday, and I don't think I will stream next Friday, but next Saturday, next week, a week from today, probably will play it, and it will be something special. But anyways, I'm just gonna hop in, grind some coins, and get the armory, not the armory, the upgrades up. I'm looking pretty good so far. All that's left is like the really expensive ones, and then the re-rolls, and then obviously this, which it's only useful in endless mode, I'm pretty sure, so I'm just gonna ignore that now because I'm not gonna tackle endless mode here soon. But yeah, just gonna jump in, but I don't know what I want to do, right? So I still want to do hard mode with all the characters, but I also just kind of want to grind coins. So maybe I'll do half and half. I haven't done this game in a while. I'm gonna just go in, grind some basic coins, and be on some Okayu. So with that, I'm just gonna hop into stage 2 and do that. But I guess, right? Wait, hold on. I gotta. It's technically, even if I wanted to do coins, it's better to do it at hard, right? Yeah, you know what? I ain't scared. You know what? We're gonna do it. Oh gosh. Again, I haven't really played Okayu before. I know her thing is kind of like, oh, you pop her ult, you can eat all the little guys and they'll heal you, and then they'll instantly die. Doesn't work on the big kind of guys, so maybe somebody like Dragon or something like Dragonfire for the collaboration would be good, just to get that single target damage. But Beast, huh? When a target is defeated, there's a 6% chance to drop other types of food that heal for 1, 35, or 20 HP. Interesting. So she is a healer. I'm just gonna go for the basic attack and increase its damage by 20%. And basically, she throws rice balls at people, and that is the whole thing. You just get smacked in the head with a rice ball. Imagine this. You're going out there. You're a shrimp, right? You're one of these shrimps. You're beefed up. You're on some, I don't know. You're on some crack. Just been mind controlled. You're like, wow, I feel great. I'm gonna go mess some people up, and then you just get probably an onigiri with a rock put in it. And you just throw that at your head, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're kidding. Like that is terrible. That is embarrassing. I'm just dying by having a rice ball thrown in my head. Yummy increases food drops by 50% when eating food, gains 40% attack, 15 speed, and 5% crit for 8 seconds. Wow, that seems really good. What is the collab? Is that with Fanbeam? Insensitive voice increases crit by 5%. Crits have a 10% chance to charm enemies within 120 pixels for 4 seconds, where they can be eaten to heal for 3% HP. So kind of like Ina's thing. But yeah, how embarrassing. Could not be me. Could actually just not be me. Speaking of, this has reminded me of a really dumb story. A really quite embarrassing story. Not so much embarrassing as it is just plain stupid. Level 5, throw 4. But good old carbonated soda over here used to bake, right? And it's like, you know what? Yeah, baking. And so I did it for one of my jobs, right? And so all I baked was bread, right? So I'm not any patissier, but all I did was bread. I baked bread, and I do it for like 6 to 8 hours, depending on how fast I got done. And one of the times, so what we do is we'd, you know, make the dough, right? Obviously, speed of onigiri increased by 20. Make the dough and put it in the proofer. Puffs up, yada yada yada. If you know how baking works, basically put it in the proofer. Then I have to put it all in the pans. And so these pans are, you know, obviously shaped to make the bread their size, because you can't just, like, I don't know, pour it on a sheet pan and hope it comes out the right size. So we got the pans for it. That would take the longest step. Throw a 6 target and slows him down for 5 seconds. That would be the longest step. Yeah, that's yes and no. That's debatable. So just like portioning out the huge amount of dough we had just made into the little pans, right? And so that took some skill, because you had to get it a certain ounce since everything's weighed. So you have the little scale, and then you have to ounce it. And I got decent at it. But there's this one other guy who was just kind of cracked, and he had been doing it for a couple of years, but this guy would get it right almost every single time. And I almost got to that point, but I stopped baking before that happened. But he would just pump them out, right? And so when I was training, he was pumping them out, and I was like, okay, easy, right? And so I do it myself, and it takes a while. It really does. It takes a while. And I was like, dude, what the heck? Because if you know, like, dough is not the most solid thing in the world, so it's kind of liquid. So it's like, imagine you're picking up Play-Doh, or like the putty, and you're trying to portion out putty, and that's exactly what it's like. And so it's hard. It's really hard. And let's increase the crits, because I am kind of curious. Oh, I guess pickup range would be pretty good on her, wouldn't it? So maybe I should have gotten the limiter. I didn't even think about that. But anyways, that was a pretty hard part about baking. But the like stupid part comes next, right? So after portioning them out, you have to put them in the proofer once again. You know, I think I'm gonna get the limiter just so I can pick up food better and get the crit stuff. But yeah, put it in the proofer again, and then in the oven, right? Finally the oven. And so after it comes out of the oven, right, you have to take them out. You have to dump all the little pans on a metal rack. And when they come out, they're not soft, right? They don't come out just, oh, typical bread, really hot. Like, you ever felt a piece of bread? They're squishy, they're soft. You would think it's like, oh, it's really soft, really squishy, but just hot. Right? It's really hot, because obviously it just came out of the oven. No, these things were like diamonds. When you picked them out of those pans, they were diamonds, right? They were so hard, and I was like, oh my gosh. It's just a weird feeling, right? You think they're soft? No, they're actually diamonds once they come out. And so once they cool, and once you put them in bags, so you reduce the air, then they get really soft. But after they just initially come out, they're actually just rocks, just hard as diamonds. And you're like, oh my gosh, these are dangerous. These pieces of bread are dangerous. I could literally take this and use it as, I don't know, maybe a murder weapon or something. They're that sharp. Especially if you overfill the pan and they're kind of leaking out the edge. It creates a little rim. And so this is where comes the dumb part. I'm doing this, right? And I've been doing this for a while. This wasn't really new me baking. I've been doing it for a while, one of those typical days, taking it out of the oven, dumping them out, and I'm going to put them in the bags, right? So I get my sheet pan, I get the bag, and I start layering them and putting them in the bags. Let's get body pillow. I didn't even realize I maxed out fan beam. Honestly, I've been talking. But yeah, you take out the sheet pan, you put them in the bags. One of those days, just doing the same old, same old. I'm going to reach for one of the breads, and granted, I'm wearing gloves too. I reach for one of the breads and I cut myself. And this has happened before, right? Where I snag my glove on the end of a piece of bread and it rips. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I go, like, pull back to go grab another piece of bread to keep stacking them. And I'm just like, not gushing blood, but I'm just blood coming out pretty fast out of my finger. I'm like, huh? What the heck? It just hit me. I was like, dude, did I do that? Like, I was almost in shock because it's not something that would ever cross my mind. I'm not shocked because it hurt or anything. I'm shocked because I cut myself on a piece of bread. Granted, those things are really hard, but how stupid is that? Like, you're telling your horror story to your friends, your family, I don't know, whoever. You're like, oh my gosh, what's the grossest, weirdest cut you've ever got? Okay, I'm gonna use my ult now. Because I almost died. Mogul, 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 mogul. I didn't get it. But yeah, you're telling your horror stories to your friends, your family, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's this one time this butcher knife just slipped off and like totally jabbed me in the thigh. I don't know, something like that. And I'm like, yeah, my horror story. I cut myself on a piece of bread. You're like, what? Say that again? Yeah, I cut myself on a piece of bread. And it was a clean cut, let me tell you. It was a really clean cut. Like, you would think it'd be all jagged, like, kind of rip. But no, it was a really clean cut for a piece of bread. I mean, obviously I had to throw that one piece out, maybe some of them around them, so I don't feed people my blood, turn them into vampires or something, I don't know. There's that, didn't even recognize it. But there was not a rough cut. It was a really clean, like if you accidentally ran your finger across a knife cut. I was baffled. I was like, what the heck? That's so mad stupid. I just cut myself on this piece of bread. That's terrible. I'm so dumb. That's so stupid. And so I tell everybody that whole, like, weird story. I'm like, dang, really weirdest thing I've ever done, probably cut myself on a piece of bread. An actual, just literal piece of bread. I've cut myself on it. Also, funny enough, those ovens got really hot, and granted you were wearing mitts, I never got burnt once doing that. But recent job, me working with fryers, I get cut or burnt all the time. And so I'm like, well, I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, there's my horror story of getting cut by some weird object. Should I ult? No, I don't think I need to. Okay, I won't. But yeah, that was a wild experience. Baking. Mad respect to the people who do it, because it's so, I'm gonna say it's so boring. It's maybe entertaining the first, I mean, everything is, right? It's maybe entertaining the first couple of times you do it, but after you get it to doing it very often, then it gets so boring. Oh my gosh, that is such a terrible spot for that anvil and that thing to be in. I'm ulting just to get in there. Oh no, does it end when I pick something up? No, it doesn't. I thought it ended. I was like, oh no, I'm just hotboxed in with these random men, stick figures with hats. I still don't know what they're a reference to. But yeah, I was dredging each day I worked there. Because there would be some times where you'd get a light load and it'd be probably minimum 6 hours, but even then that's pretty rushing it. And then you get a pretty heavy load where you'd be probably there 10 hours or so. And it was so boring. If you didn't have headphones, you were cooked. You were absolutely cooked. You were dying of boredom. after doing the same thing over and over for so long. And you had to wake up really early to do it, right? Because baking is no short amount of time. You had to wake up really early in order for all the bread to be done. Because each batch would produce around 40, 50-ish. I want to say more. I can't quite remember anymore. But, yeah, and so that goes through actually pretty fast. Like, typical lunch rush will go through about, I want to say, 70 or so. You're just making so many sandwiches, probably even more. I think I'm even underestimating it. But, yeah, and so you had to get everything done really early for you to just have enough for the entire day. So I was waking up at 5:30, going to work at 6, which I guess to some people is like, oh yeah, that's my typical job. I work a 7 to 12. Shit, I don't know what early morning people do. It could not be me anymore. That was one of the things that ruined me. I was like, yeah, no. That was one of the jobs that made me realize that I'm not cut out for the morning. Absolutely not cut out for the morning. I'm not invincible during this, right? I just don't theoretically take damage. So if I still run into a big boy, then I'll still take damage, right? I don't know. Ooh, let's go 3. But yeah, that was one of the jobs that made me realize I don't think I'm cut out for early morning stuff. I'm really not. Oh gosh, I think I killed myself. No, I'm good. I didn't realize, you know. I think there's a timer too, and I'm just dumb. But I didn't realize it was just kind of standing in the middle of all of them. Ooh, I'll definitely take nightly milk. Yeah, I don't know how people do it. I get wanting to have more to your day, and I respect that. Because there are sometimes I feel like I want more to my day, but it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out for me. I hate waking up early, because I love sleeping in. First off, so right, if you work an early morning shift, you probably have a schedule. You're probably like, hey, maybe I have work at 7, let's say. If I want my 8 hours and I want an hour before, I'm waking up at 6, and so I'm going to bed at 10. And to me, that's crazy. I'm like, there ain't no way. 10 o'clock, I go to bed at 3:30. So having the idea of going to bed at 10 is something so foreign, something so unfamiliar to me, that I'm like, nope, heck no. I can't even. Because going to work at 6 was hard for me, because then I'd wake up at 5:30. But there would still be some nights where I stay up late and game with my friends, and I wouldn't go to bed until like still 12:30 to 1. And so I'd get like 4 or 5 hours before going to work. And there were, I don't actually know if I ever missed a baking shift because I slept in. I'm sure, but I definitely missed one of the early morning shifts because I've slept in before. And that was the really awkward. I think it was the second or first time it's ever happened. I was going to a different store to help them out because they were really short staffed, and I slept in to my alarm, and I wake up 2 hours later having gotten like calls from a couple different people, and they're like, hey, are you still coming in? Like 2 hours ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I was shocked. I felt so bad because I was going to a different store. I just felt terrible. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I can still come in. I'll stay like an hour later than I was supposed to because I slept through the alarm. And they're like, yeah, okay, fine. But that was a fun talk to have. And the moral of the story is, that day I learned, yeah, I'm not built for morning shifts. So anything before 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I'm probably screwed on. Because even today, I was staying up pretty late watching the second season of Records of Ragnarok, and it's really dumb honestly, if you think about it, it's really dumb. But there's just something about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't put this down. It's really cool to watch. It appeals to the child, the boy, even the man in me. It's cool. And so I benched like 4 or 5 episodes. And by that time it was 3:30 and I was like, oh, I could stay up and just watch this and not stream tomorrow. But then I was like, no, why would I do that? I want to stream tomorrow. And I actually almost had to force myself to go to sleep. Like, you know the times you force yourself to go to sleep? You're like, the controller disconnected. You like try to put your phone away from you. I didn't do it this time. But there have been some times, right, where you're like, I need to force myself to go to sleep. And so you throw your phone, like, somewhere. Or even charge it and put it really far away from you. Because you're like, I need to sleep. But this thing is keeping me awake right now. And I'm still yawny, but this thing is keeping me awake. But I need to wake up. And you throw it away. And if my controller would ever reconnect, please. I need to get a new cord. This happens way too often. But I'm really trying. I guess if all else fails, I'm mouse and keyboard gang. But I really hope that doesn't happen. Let me try a different USB port. Because mouse and keyboard on this game is a lot harder than it is controller. Oh, there we go. Alright, we're chilling. Anyways, continue my story. Almost had to force myself to sleep because I was like, dang, I gotta actually wake up because I have something going on at 3 today. Big work. We love our jobs. And yeah, I was like, if I wake up any later than 12, I'm probably not gonna want to stream, or it's gonna be mega short. And not to say that today isn't gonna be a shorter stream. I would wager about 2 or 3 runs. This including today for me, just because I don't have a lot of time. But I've been thinking of a schedule, right? And I haven't really ever followed it correctly. Because honestly, I just do whatever I want. And that's bad and alright at the same time. So I'll try to at least do 3 or 4 a week, right? But basically, Thursdays, Fridays are no-goes for me. And Saturday or Sundays are kind of no-goes as well. But recently I have been streaming on Sundays just because I have the time. But usually those 3 days are no-goes. But I want to stream the majority of the week. And so that leaves me to stream on my 2 days off. Which I actually do enjoy streaming on my days off because I can make them longer. I don't feel pressured to not, or to have a time restraint, and so I can just stream for however long I want. And then if I'm feeling uninspired or anything like that, I can just end it and be like, hey, yep, sorry, I'm ending it here. But that leaves like, oh, Mondays through Wednesdays will be a stream, and then on Saturdays will be a stream. And that's basically how this schedule is gonna work. But it's anywhere from like, I don't know if I wake up at 11 anymore, I'll be honest. It'll be anywhere from between like 12 and 1. Or maybe even a little later than that, 1:30. So yes, that is kind of the, oh, I'm gonna ult. I'm very scared. That is kind of the quote-unquote schedule for now. And I'm going to stick with it. And maybe stream on Sundays if I have the time. Or maybe Thursdays, Fridays nights if I set something up. But usually I don't like to stream at the night. Because, well, I'll be honest. I like, usually my friends, my big Tomodachis get on at night. And I want to play with them. So I'm like, man, I just came back from work. I have like an hour before work. So I'm not gonna stream, obviously. Because it'll be really short. And I don't like to stream anything under an hour. And so usually Thursday, Friday nights are a no-go. Unless I'm like, hey, do you want to stream this? But I've only ever streamed with them once. And them being the one. Senor Monkey Water. But I'm really crawling for this second collab. I'm really not trying too hard. I'm like sweating, but I'm taking it easy at the same time. I am just not getting it. There we go. I just gotta get the anvil. But yeah, something, cause I've been thinking about doing new games. Cause, obviously, I have been like, oh, big yawn. But I've been looking for new ones, something that's fun for me to play as well. And I'll say it, you know, probably, and I think I've said it before too, my memory is absolutely just garbage, and I never remember anything I previously say on anything. But probably gonna stream. No, I don't think I've said this before. The new One Piece game. Let's go. One Piece Odyssey, yes sir. It looks fun. And I saw somebody stream it for like 10 hours, and I'm like, huh? Like, he had a 10-hour straight-on stream of One Piece Odyssey. I'm like, huh? You're crazy. That's a lot of hours into the game already, but in one sitting, that is crazy. But I haven't watched anything on it, right? I just saw that he did it, but I haven't actually seen anything about the game. But apparently it's turn-based, which I have mixed feelings about. Don't get me wrong. I think I love turn-based games. Turn-based games are my probably favorite. But for a One Piece game, I'm like, oh, that's a little weird to have a turn-based game on a One Piece game. But regardless, it is a thing. And I do enjoy entirely like turn-based games. But usually when they do make games, it's like the Horde style games, I want to say. Like, there's a ton of them, and then you just defeat them. I've never really played any Horde style games in the first place, so I'm not sure if they're any good or not. So maybe I'm lucking out or something. But yeah, it looks fun. Mostly because I'm a pretty big One Piece fan, I will say. What do I even start for next? Not really anything. But it looks fun, question mark. I only really watched the trailers. I haven't seen anything about the actual game. But I like One Piece, okay? I really like One Piece. And so I'm kind of excited to play it. Hopefully it all works out. But I'm gonna have to look if there's streaming issues, like, because I probably guarantee you there'll be something like an opening cutscene with a song. So obviously that's a no-go. So I'll have to look if the whole game is good to stream, like, right off, or if I have to turn off, like, sound settings, which would be a real shame. But you know, it's a game that looks fun, and it looks fun streaming. So I had mentioned that there's some games where it's like, oh, they're fun for me, but I don't know about streaming. This looks like a fun game and a fun stream game too. I'm really quite excited to do it. But that will happen probably not until next week. And I was actually looking for this. I didn't mention this, but in my head, I was looking for Chicken's Feather because I wanted the revive, just in case something bad happens. So I'm glad it happened. But it will, if anything, I think I want to spend some time on it. So it will be on my day off. So probably either next Tuesday or next Wednesday. Right? For as today is Saturday, streaming today, probably not stream tomorrow. And then Monday will probably be a stream. What that is, probably Yu-Gi-Oh! If I'm being honest. Probably Yu-Gi-Oh! Or maybe something else. We'll see. We'll find out. But, and then I think maybe Tuesday will be the One Piece stream. So, I'm looking forward to that, because it looks like a fun game and I want to play it. But yeah, Tuesday as One Piece. Da, 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 da. I can't go further than that. But I also was reading the reviews, because something I don't know why I look at, because I never actually care, and I feel like it turns me out of the game or like away from the game for no reason either. Because I look at some of the games I enjoy, and some of their reviews are trash, like really bad, like really dogging on the game. But then I play it and I'm like, wow, it's really fun. Why were they having a bad time? So it really is just personal preference at the end of the day. So I don't actually know why I look at the reviews if, you know, I don't care. But I do, and it turns me away from the game, and I don't know why it does. So I'm like, yeah, some of the games I like are pretty negatively reviewed, but I just like them, okay? And so I did the same thing with One Piece. Get a coin every second increase. I mean, I could get away with that. Sake's pretty good. I just keep doing glow stick. I'll keep it simple. But yeah, they're like, oh, it's... I'm trying to remember. It's a good game. Yes. I think they were all saying it's a good game. I didn't really see any, like, in-depth, like, stellar talkabouts of the game. But, oh, I forgot about this. Actually, I can just survive this with either the revive or the ult, because the ult's not going to be any useful during the final boss. But yeah, they're like, oh, it's a good game, but they tease characters that you can't even play until later on, though. So, like, they'll join, like, I guess everybody, quote-unquote, gets split apart. But then, oh gosh, maybe I used my ult a little too early. Nope, we're good, we're chilling. Chilling. They're like, oh, everybody gets, like, split apart, right? But then they get back together, but then you can't actually play the character until later on. And they're like, yeah, that's a little weird. And you get the character, but you can't even play him until a little later in the game. And I was like, yeah, it seems a little weird. And they're like, oh, I wish they would have drawn it out and kept them separated for a little while longer. And I was like, yeah, I can understand that. But then I'm like, well, I haven't actually played the game, though. So maybe I don't understand that. But, other than that, I think everything else, that was like the one negative review that stood out to me that maybe had some, you know, aspect of trueness to it. There was a word in my head and I just couldn't remember it. Do a flip. But, yeah, that was the only really negative thing I saw. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the author of the original One Piece, I'm gonna butcher his name, so I don't really want to say it, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Ichiro Oda Sensei. I'm just gonna call him Oda Sensei. And I believe he either oversaw it or wrote the script for the game, kind of something similar to how he did One Piece Red. Like he was involved, but wasn't really hands-on to it. But if it's true that like he wrote the story, then well, it may not be canon. I know it's gonna be a good story because I like the way he writes. Because I like how he, you know, actually explains things, so it's not left to the imagination or there's any really inconsistencies in it. But if that's true, that means I'm really excited to play it. Let's just get the other re-roll because that means I know it's gonna be a good story. I really do know it's gonna be a good story. And with that being said, who do I play next then? Who haven't I really played? I'm actually kind of surprised I just beat that. Like, it didn't really soak in because I was talking, but I beat it. I beat hard mode. I did it. I didn't really explain what else I was doing. It was just kind of a fever dream, and I did it. Well, who have I played? Who haven't I played? Oh, that must have been annoying. Hey, look, there's my mouse. I'm gonna put it over here now. I don't, like, at least on stream, I don't think I've done Watson. I don't think I've done Gura. I think I did do Ina. I did do Kiara. I haven't done Callie. Did do Sana. Did. Absolutely failed. Did. I don't think I've done you. Did I win hard mode as her? I can't remember. I think I got close, but I failed. I've done you, but I've also failed. I've done you. I think I failed as well. Did I finish hard mode with Mio? Ugh, excuse me. Yes? No? I don't remember, actually. I just don't remember. Done you. I haven't really done you. I don't think I've done you. So let's do you. Let's do ASCII. That sounds fun. I haven't really played her either. Something I realized, other than like maybe 3 specific characters, I haven't really, quote unquote, played anybody. I guess I could have done the random option too. A wheel. Let's see what she actually does. Normal attack increased by 20. Encore. Every 7 seconds, create a burst of song, dealing 100% damage for every target defeated in the last 7 seconds, plus 10 song damage. Okay, that's pretty cool actually. So I can kind of aim this. That's a weird pattern, but that is okay. Oh gosh, it doesn't hit straight. It throws like a curveball. Reduce the time between attacks. Yep. But yeah, I'm I think I'm dragging through my 3rd reread. But I have reread One Piece again for the 2nd time, and then I've gone to the 3rd. I'm currently on the Wano arc for the 3rd. But I like it because the 2nd time was actually maybe more, well, more and less. I'll read this later when I decide to actually get it. But because you do the first read through of something and you're like, wow, that was really good. And then you do the 2nd read through and you notice things you didn't read before, or maybe you notice like foreshadowing and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they did something with that later. That's really cool. So I almost want to say the 2nd read through was more enjoyable than the first, but it was definitely an experience. Let's read these 2 because I might get one. Virtual Diva. For each second ASCII does not receive damage, increases haste by 1% up to 10%. Buff resets to 0 if ASCII takes damage. Okay. For each second, his performance. Excuse me. Yawn. For each second while moving, plus 2 speed, max 20, and plus 2 dodge chance, max 20. Both buffs lose 3 stacks if receiving damage. Okay. Honestly, I think the dodge is good, because if I dodge, then I don't take damage. And if I don't take damage, then I keep my buff, which I don't have yet, but eventually. Big brain moves. But yeah, 2nd reread was actually really fun. I think I might die. Ow! Okay, we're good. We're chilling. Everything's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, Diva Song Awaken. When hitting a target, there's a 30% chance the musical note sends 2 more notes that deal 50% damage. Okay. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed the 2nd read through. I will say, even though it is like 1,000 chapters, I think I was doing it on like a road trip, right? And so I had the time. So I was like, you know what? Well, I might as well. And it kept me really quite entertained, I will say, actually. Like, there were some parts where I did have to drive, so I was like, oh, dang, I have to drive, so I can't read One Piece. But then I got to the... what did I get to? I guess I'll get Nightly Milk, because that barely comes by. I got to the Marineford scene. Well, I mean, I suppose I can say it, because, I mean, it's been out for, like, 15 years. If you don't know already, there's been mega spoilers. But let's just say Marineford, the Ace scene, right? I think I got to that. And it never really bothered me the first time around. But the 2nd time around, I was like, oh, kind of hits different. Like, dang, okay. I didn't know I was in for a feels trip. I mean, I'm a man, right? So I didn't cry or anything. But I felt a little emotional. I will say, like, I had watched the scene. Oh, that's kind of cool. I had watched the scene quite often, or quite the many times, because I like the animation. I feel like it's lame to get Asakoko twice in a row. Like, yeah, yes, it is really good, or the Dragon's Breath to build into that. But I feel like it's lame if I get it every time, right? So I gotta. Man, I might as well. I gotta keep it up, or keep doing different stuff. But yeah, one episode. Which episode was it? I think it was. I think this was after either my 2nd or like 3rd reread. I think it was after the 3rd reread, which I'm still pending, but it'll happen. just do that for now. The Virtual Diva. But I think it was like mid-third reread, right? And oh my gosh, I'm doing a actually insane amount of damage. I didn't realize. Third reread, I'm watching the episode which had really great animations. It was the Red Rock episode, like when they first did the Red Rock, and it was like one of the most popular episodes One Piece has ever done, and I can see why. It was really beautifully animated. There's a ton of emotion in it, and I can't remember what episode it is because, gosh, I'm not gonna remember the exact one out of 1,000. Recent, it was like when he first Red Rocks Kaido, right? And I'm pretty sure if you've watched One Piece, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen it, the animation. But like when, for some reason, when they were doing like either the flashbacks, I think it was like the flashbacks, right? Like the Akazuya 9 had just gotten bodied. They're laying on the floor. He walks up to them, ignoring the 2 emperors in front of him. The absolute legend of a man. And he just stares at them like, oh, it's gonna be okay. And he's like, oh, can you carry Wano on your back? Something like that. And I was like, ugh. I actually kind of got choked up by that. And then they played the like back, like the flashback of the scenes between all this stuff, and it was really well executed. And I choked up, and I'm like, bro, am I crying right now? Why is this one getting me? I've already watched this episode before. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I feel like I could just feel the emotions like throughout the trip. Like I felt like I was a part of the trip. I could feel the emotions through them all. And I was like, wow, that was really powerful. But as much as I mean it on it, it really was. It was really powerful, really emotional. I could like really feel the journey they've been through on that end, like all leading up to this climactic fight. And I was like, it's beautiful. And so I think that's like one of the only episodes I really cried. Yeah, I'll say it. I kind of cried. I was feeling emotional, but it was like happy emotional. Like, well, happy, yes, maybe, but I could feel it, right? That's what it got to me. And that was one of the only episodes I really like got choked up about. But that's just because I feel like Oda Sensei's a really great writer. Like, yes, people kind of doggy on the series for it being so freaking long, but I like it. I will say, like, his One Piece has almost ruined everything else for me because it's so good and everything gets explained and there's so much thought and effort put into it. And it's just, it really takes its time to build its story. And it's almost ruined others because I always end up relating it or comparing it to One Piece. And I'm like, dude, One Piece may be like the greatest manga of all time. That's like a hot take. And I know most people won't agree with me on that one. But for me, it's like One Piece is like probably the best manga ever, in my opinion. And obviously it is just my opinion, but for me, I'm like, dude, I actually love One Piece. It's so good. There's so much emotion to it. It's so cool. Yada yada yada. I love it. And so that's just because of who Oda Sensei is. Like it really takes the time to do all this stuff, and he puts a lot of thought. Like I'm pretty sure if you know One Piece, at one point you've seen his legendary like work schedule, right? This man does not go home. This man, I think he has even stated, if he went home, like he loves his family so much, he would want to stay home, and that would interfere with his work. So he doesn't see them for just like, I'm gonna use my ult. He doesn't see them because he doesn't care, but like because he loves them so much. And I'm like, what a man! What a man! And I was like, dang, what an absolute freaking legend. And so I love him. So when I saw that in the One Piece Odyssey game that he either oversee it, yada, 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 I can't remember, but he helped with it, basically, I was like, dude, I know this is going to be a great game already because he wrote it. And so I look up to him, like, he's kind of cool. I like him a lot. But going back to, like, the episode that was probably the episode that made me choke up the most. But he does the SBS. Oh, I can't remember what it stands for anymore. But because I didn't stop reading them, but this side I kind of started reading One Piece on didn't really include those, so I never really kept up with them. But the SBS, one of the things I did read, it was like, oh hey, he gets asked all these kind of dumb stuffs, and he answers them too, which is really funny. But one of the things asked was like, hey, what was the hardest scene for you to write? Right? I'm hilarious. Yeah, one of the questions was, oh, what is one of the hardest scenes for you to write? And he was like, wow, I don't know, because there was a lot of scenes that had me choke up, had me hard to draw, where I had to take a break in between just so I could get through the drawing session. Oh gosh, I think I'm chilling. Is there anything that could help me? Gosh, this is kind of weird because I'm not going to get a collab with BL Book and X Potato. But going back, he's like one of the, I think the most, and it may have changed. I think this was actually quote unquote recent, maybe a few years ago. But he said the hardest thing for him to draw was the Vivi scene, right? In Alabaster, with the almost first half of the series before the red line, or the grand line, red line, yes. He's like, that was probably the hardest for me to write, because there's just so much emotion going on right there. Like, oh, she's trying to save her entire country, stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, that was probably the hardest scene for me to draw. And it was the one when she was like, oh, stop all the fighting and stuff. Like that panel. And I was like, dang, that's respectable. So like, even from there, like, you can just see how much effort this man just puts in everything, right? And not to say like, oh, obviously other writers don't put in that effort, because I'm sure, like, I guarantee you there have been writers who had like times like that when they're trying to put so much emotion that they have to put it down and come back just because they themselves are emotional at what they've written or drawn. Stay back. No! Dang it, it wasn't in the guards. But too busy talking about One Piece. The One Piece is real. But yeah, I could talk about One Piece for a while. Well, I got nothing better to do. And I know you. I got time. But yeah, not to discount any other creators, but I thought that was rather special. But because he just put so much into everything he does, I'm like, dang, what a legendary man. And it's the last season. I say season, last arc, I think is the right word if it's a manga. But yeah, let's do Sora. So last arc, so it's finally ending. But even then, I'm like, it's finally ending, but this ending is probably going to be another 200, 300 chapters. So it's going to be, it may be the final arc, but well, it'll take a few years for it to actually finish. But, let's get the increase of the damage. Like, good on him. You can actually see his family. And I think they did, I can't remember if he was a part of it or something, but, it's like they did all the bronze statues of the Straw Hat crew, right? And I can't remember if it was, I think it was his hometown. Like in his hometown, they did a bronze statue of like all the characters, and I was like, wow, that's cool. That's really cool. Because I saw the one of Jinbei, and I was like, that's sick. That is sick. But anyways, let me read all these real fast. Idle healing. When receiving any healing, targets within 100 pixels are also healed, taking 125%. Oh. Plus X damage, where X is 2 times the healing amount. Well, I'm no math guy, so that goes over my head. Ankimo. Summon Ankimo. Ankimo moves around and tags targets and deals 50% damage. Tag targets have a 20% to follow Ankimo for 4 seconds. So he's like an aggro thing. You're the enemy then. Attacks have a 10% chance to mark a target, max 13. Mark targets receive 20% more damage and a 20% chance to heal 2 HP when defeated. I think I'm gonna get Ankimo. Oh, my nose is getting clogged. But yeah, I think just the amount of work that he's done and that people respecting his work, yada yada yada, it's been so cool to me. So that's why I'm really excited to play this new One Piece game, because it's a different experience and it's something new. Let's do spider cooking. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think that is one of the games I will actually play from start to finish, hopefully. I'm gonna get hit by this. Because Sekiro... I would like to go back to Sekiro. But for now, it's kind of like paused. Let's just say that. It's just paused for now. So I don't know when I'm gonna go back to it, but I figure I may at a later date. Not to say I'm not enjoying it. I am, but it's not working out right now. But later, I shall go back to it. And so hopefully with One Piece Odyssey, and I may just do it anyways, I'm gonna play it from start to finish. So if you see like a lot of streams back to back of One Piece Odyssey, probably because I'm really enjoying it, and I just want to play it. So it may be a little annoying in the next few weeks if you just see mad One Piece Odyssey content, but that is what I shall do. And obviously HoloCure too, because the new update's coming out, and Yu-Gi-Oh, because I actually was enjoying Yu-Gi-Oh a lot more than I thought. And yeah, it's kind of the plan for the next week or so. One Piece Odyssey, Yu-Gi-Oh, new HoloCure update, and maybe some random games in between, like Shotgun King or maybe Overwatch again. I have not played Overwatch for a while, but I just that is because I feel like it's stalling right now, and not stalling because it's bad or anything, but just there's nothing happening right now. And I could just do ranked, but I'm decently ranked right now, for me at least, and I finished the battle pass, so there's not really a goal for me to play. So I feel like if I go in, I'm like, oh, just yeah, it's not really much to talk about when it comes to it right there. So I'm just, new season is coming around for Overwatch. It's a couple days, 3, 4 now maybe. I don't even know what goes. Let's re-roll. Just get spider cooking. But yeah, actually I didn't even realize new season of Overwatch coming out, season 3, and the new mythic skin is gonna be Kiriko, an Amaterasu skin. It looks alright, but it looks oddly familiar to the Zoot, so a little bit of reused assets, but that's okay. That is a-okay for me. Let's re-roll. That's pretty bad. So yeah, I don't think we've heard anything about a new hero yet. I think they are still doing that, right? They're gonna add a new hero every battle pass season. I think that is still the plan, but we have not heard anything about that yet. Maybe soon, I don't know. But with that being said, nerfing Ramatra, and I have been playing a lot of ranked recently, and I get it. The only thing, I love Ramatra. He is my tank right now. So obviously whenever you see your character that you play a lot getting nerfed, you have mixed feelings. Yes, he does need it. It is kind of ridiculous how you just lose when he ults, because there's nothing you can do. Like if you kill him, if he uses that at a bad time, yeah, maybe you could get away with it. But let's be honest, if you're playing good enough players, they will probably always use it when they see an opportunity, and they will probably not waste that opportunity. So they will capitalize on it. And with that being said, I do believe he needs a nerf. Unfortunate. And I have been playing like healer and stuff, and it is really ridiculous how he outspeeds you in his ult, so you can't run away. I think, okay, this is my thought. He should not be slower in his ult, but rather people should get faster in his ult. Right? So I guess it wouldn't make sense from like an ability or lore wise, but I think people should, like, the enemy team should get faster. And that's a weird, gosh, I don't actually even remember what collaborates with spider cooking. Yeah, I guess. Let me look that up real quick. Spider cooking has bucket and tears. Okay, so I have seen bucket. Yeah, it's a weird thing, right? But I was thinking about this, right? If it makes them faster, then it's not an issue, right? And that incentivizes a Lucio Ramatra play, right? Too. So Lucio's next to the Ramatra, he's speed boosting him so he can catch up. I don't think he should catch up normally. I think it should be rather easy to get out of his ult. So you're just using it if you think you can, if you're right next to them, or you think you can catch up to them if you have a good Lucio, right? So in other words, I think there should be some skill to his ult. Not, hey, I push it, I win this fight if I just stay next to somebody. And that's a hot topic, I feel like. But I think people should get faster in his ult. If it makes it any worse, this is what I'm scared of. If they like reduce the damage, then they could reduce the area of effect, and I think I'd be fine with that too. But even then, it's a little iffy. Or they just make him slower than everybody. Then I feel like it'll just be really bad, and it'll put him at a not unplayable version, because I was like, hey, what's he really good at outside of his ult? I guess the pummel's pretty alright, but it's mid. It's mid in my opinion. But so if they take away his ult, which is this almost one good thing, then there's gonna be no reason for people to play him, and that's what I'm scared of. But hopefully they'll do something about it. Obviously, I can theorize all I want, say all I want. Whatever they decide they want to do with the character will happen. But that is what I think. But new Battle Pass season Mythic skin is going to be for Kiriko, which is a shame. I don't play Kiriko, which is also another shame because she's really good. And I don't know why I suck so bad at playing her, because she's just really good. And I don't know. I pull it off. Somehow I pull it off where I make it so I'm bad with her. And I don't know how or why. And it frustrates me. But maybe that'll be a good enough incentive to play the character. But yeah, new season. I'll probably play Overwatch then with the new season coming out. Hopefully new skins too. But there will be new skins, let's be honest. But also another thing they're adding is, and I was told this in chat too, but I recently actually looked at it. New at the end of the Battle Pass, if you finish the Battle Pass, they will award you a free legendary skin. Now, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be one of the basic ones, like one of the 2 or 4 starting. Crap! 2 or 4 starting skins. You know how everybody, when they first release, they get a set amount of skins. It'll probably just be those. It won't be like all event skins or anything, unfortunately. But yeah, if you finish the Battle Pass, you will get a free skin. And they're also adding currency to the Battle Pass again. Well, I say again, they never did. But they're adding currency to the Battle Pass. I don't think it's going to be something like, hey, you spend Overwatch coins, you get enough Overwatch coins to buy the next Battle Pass. It's probably going to, I think they even said, it's going to be the legendary coins, which you use to buy the basic skins. Which is a shame, but I guess it's something. It's something. So they're getting better at it. Well, let's be honest. I just want to blame Yo. Yeah. So a lot of updates happening soon, and I have been thinking, cause I'm sure this is a thought every content creator has, right? Where you're like, well, what kind of content do I want to produce, right? And for me, it's like anime stuff, right? I think I can say I want to, stream games like this, right? Like I like HoloCure, I want to play HoloCure, One Piece Odyssey, I want to play something like that. I want to stream anime games. But I want to start streaming like gacha games. right? And I've mentioned this quite a few times before, but my favorite game of all time, Fate Grand Order. And I just like the way, like the story, I even like the gameplay and stuff like that, even though it is basic. But yeah, I wanna stream it, but I'm just not sure how to. Cause what would be enjoyable to watch? Cause yeah, I wouldn't think you just watching me play the game like, oh, hop in one day and just grind some QP, right? Like maybe that would be alright. Like, hey, my goal today is to 10 skill, I don't know, this servant, right? And so you do that, you get them to max level, you get them to max skills level, or I don't know, something of the sorts. But that in itself is not really fun. And then I'll be honest, I'm running out of mats right now, so it is not something I could do right now. Let's get Fan Beam. If I have to get Dragon's Breath, so be it. But it's hard. It's something. Okay, and maybe I'll put a little more thought into this. The Holy Grail War is coming up, and I actually had really fun playing it. So maybe what I'll do is I'll actually wait a few days, like not play it by myself, wait a few days for kind of some of the actual different Holy Grail events come out. And they have a lot of replayability too, so even if I do it once, I can do it again just using different servants, and I feel like it'd be fun. Because I did that and that sound fun. And maybe I want to do like a random number generator, like, oh hey, since you have to do an assassin, I'm gonna pick an assassin from 1 to this yada 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 and use it. And so I think that is something I want to do, and I think that will happen soonish, but not soon enough, because the Holy Grail War actually comes out, I think the 6th, I believe. Wow, did I really? Oh gosh, it's been a fever dream these last 2 minutes. I didn't even realize I maxed out tarot cards. Yeah, I think that's something I am gonna do, because I feel like that is, to me, that's enjoyable to watch, and I want to do it. And so it'll come out the 6th. Even if I do play it by myself, I don't know, I kind of want to go in with the fresh knowledge, right? I'll think a little more about it. But, cool, family level 6. I think that is something I'll do. I think it'll come out the 6th. I'll wait a few days. I'm really impatient, but maybe I'll do like 2 streams on it. So if there's like, oh, 6 of the Holy Grail Wars coming out, and they're actually not short, so they may take a while. But 6 of them come out. Maybe I'll do 3 one stream, 3 the other stream, and then go back and do like randoms. But I think that'll be fun, and I think that is something I want to do. Reroll. Oh, I could have got Picky Meaty Man, and that would have been alright. Oh well, let's get this for some healing. But I think that is actually something I'll do, and I didn't really have that thought until just now. It has been in the back of my mind, but I guess we do this. There's never been an actual thought until just now. So I think that is something I'll do. As much as it pains me to stop playing or not play an event right away, I'll live. I'll survive. And so I'll do something like that, and then I'll do like random servants, which could go really poorly. I'm not going to do it to the point where I'm going to use servants I don't have leveled up. Now, I have a good deal of servants leveled up, right? I do have a good deal of servants leveled up, but there are a few that I don't. So I will probably only make the pool for like, man, I don't know, the ones I actually have leveled up, which are a bit actually. Maybe I'll look at that after this, but I don't know. Oh, let's just ult right here, because I do get mine really back or really fast. But I think that's a thing I want to do, now that I think about it. That is a thing I want to do. The only thing is, I don't know how to stream Fate. I don't think there are any issues streaming Fate either. Like, nothing I have to mute or anything. No songs that play are bad, because most of them are OSTs in the first place. I don't think there's any issues just playing the game as is, so I think I'll be fine on that. But I don't know how to stream it, because it's on my phone. But I would have to, obviously I just can't stream it on my phone. Or can I? I don't even know. Well, I guess I could try Express. Yeah, I think I'd... Would I have to get a capture card? Or could I get away with, like... And I don't even know if this is a thing. Say, like, plugging... Because I know plugging your phone into the computer is a thing, right? You can't... That is something you can do. But can I plug it into the computer and open an application and play it on the computer like that? I don't think so. I don't know. So maybe I'd have to get a capture card for something like that, which is something I don't own. But if I want to do something like that, it is something I will own then. So that is something I will think about, put a little more research in, and maybe something I do. Because that is the kind of content I want to do. If I have a favorite game, well, I'm gonna want to share it with you guys, right? I'm gonna want to play it. And especially the Holy Grail War, which I feel like is pretty fun to watch. Even if you don't know what's going on. Pretty fun to watch, pretty cool to do. Especially if I do like, different challenges per se, randomizers. There's some things I'm thinking of that I think would be pretty fun. And so I will do those. But yeah, that is the kind of stuff I want to do. And it will probably happen now that I'm thinking about it. So, we'll look forward to that. But this will be a busy-ish next couple days for me. So, let's see how it all turns out. My lips are really dry. So I need to put some chapstick on. But I've actually been just talking about it a lot. This is a really chill game, right? There's not too much action going on. So it's not like your typical... Oh gosh. No, I don't want to end it here. I'm trying to win this run. Guess this. I'm actually trying to win this run. Hold on. But as I say that, I almost died. It's pretty chill. There's not much commentating you can do on a game like this, right? You can't be like, oh, I'm going down to try to avoid yada 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 yada. Let's get Nurse's horns. I need some healing. Cool. Oh my gosh, I got it right off the bat. That's good. See if I can't get my ult so I can get to it. Yeah, other than like basic that responses, like, oh hey, the golden anvil spawned, but I can't quite get to it yet because it's surrounded. Let me just maybe wait till I get my ult to get it, or let me wait until they all clear out. That is just a couple sentences. All right, Wami water. Let's get Nurse's horns still. What is Wami water? I think it's only with CEO's tier. No, BL book in CEO's tiers, I believe. Or is it just with the BL book? Seems to just be with the BL book. Okay. And so that is what I shall get next. But yeah, it's not... It's really fun. Right? It's something that'll keep me entertained, and then I can kind of talk about stuff in the background too. But, it's not action-packed, I would say. Not yet, at least. It will be a little more explaining in the future. What was I trying to get? BO book? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Never again. Actually, never again. I made a mistake that one time. Oh gosh, I don't even want to be reminded anymore. Okay, we're gonna forget it. But yeah, this is not the most action-packed game where you can just constantly commentate on the game and do bits and stuff. But it is really fun. I do really enjoy it, and I have played quite a bit of it so far. Out of the 30, 40 videos, this is number 6. So it is taking up a good chunk of everything I make. Please, bro, please. But yeah, new update will be really fun at least, because there'll be new characters to get. And maybe that's something I should do, actually, now that I'm thinking on it. I should not spend my coins after this run and just save them for the gacha that'll come with the next, oh, there's BL book. The next, update. I was gonna say event. That's wrong. Update. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah. So I'll actually save my coins. But it's gonna be fun. They're not adding as many characters, but the actual, like, and this may not even be the right word, slice of life updates, you could say, are gonna be kind of out of this world, and it's gonna be really cool and fun and a great experience altogether with all the different stuff they're adding. Ooh, that's a lot of enemies. Only a week away, which is a shame, because I am probably not going to be able to play the day it comes out. And I may, but it won't be on stream. But probably, definitely the day after will be a stream of HoloCure. So you'll see all the actual HoloLive VTubers stream it. So there you go. And then maybe you can come back the next day and see me stream it. And then you'll be like, oh my gosh, I saw Ayame play her character in this game, and it was really fun, and it was really enjoyable. And I was like, yeah, it was. I watched that stream too. And then we'll fangirl all day long. But no, because I don't understand a word they're saying. So I will watch the clips, and I will enjoy them. Not yet, anyways. I really want to take language classes. And I think this is a common dream of literally anybody who watches anime who is also American. Like, man, I don't understand. I want to understand, though. And so I want to take language classes. I'm still doing my, like, quote-unquote self-studies. And all that is Duolingo. So I try to get, like, 5 lessons a day done. And then maybe eventually that'll work up to something that's tangible. And I can understand what's happening. But for now, it's not so. Because some days I get really slow at work, so I have the time to, and I'll quote-unquote study, but I'll do Duolingo in the background and do like, oh, I can't listen right now. And so I can only read, and it's actually a lot better for me than I thought. Because I'll be honest, sometimes I slack on the kanji and don't bother memorizing it. I'll tap it, I'll hear it, and then I'll match it with the hiragana or katakana that it actually relates to. But then obviously when you can't hear it, you don't know what they're saying, so you don't know what it means. So you are actually just forced to know what that specific kanji means, which is something I actually kind of want to keep doing now, because it forces me to learn the kanji, whereas I just skip over it at any other given moment. So I was like, man, what a sucky way for me to figure out a new a new learning schedule. But there are so many things I want to do. I feel like there's not enough time to do it. Excuse me. Big yawns. Like watching Records of Ragnarok last night. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to, and I did. I sacrificed working out so I could watch it. I'm like, well, that may not be necessarily the best move, but well, it's what I did. Oh! But yeah, it always feels like if I want to do something nowadays, I have to sacrifice another thing, right? So like big things right now for me are like things I want to do in a day. Obviously go to work, because that is something I have to do. And then other than that, A, stream, B, work out, C, study. And I always skimp on one of those 3 things. So if I'm streaming, I'm either working out or I'm studying. And I could do all 3 in one day. That is something I could do. but sometimes I'm just like, okay, I've done like 2 self-improvement quote unquotes today. I want to do something else. So let's take an example of yesterday. I didn't stream because I couldn't, because that was my day off. And so I actually studied quite a bit yesterday for Japanese, but I didn't work out because then I wanted to watch Records of Ragnarok. And so I'm like, oh, if I want to do something too, I gotta sacrifice it. Oh no! Okay, we're chilling. We're fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But yes, respectfully die in Minecraft. What? Oh, I feel like I'm always sacrificing something. Which is just because I don't have enough time. But it's not like I can have more time to do stuff, because I do need to work. That is a real human thing that I need to do. So I can't just mess around all day doing what I want. I have responsibilities now. I will say, like, I so miss the young, and I'm still really young, but I miss the young, good old high school days as a carbonated beverage, going around playing sports and hanging out. I didn't actually hang out a lot. That's a lie. But playing sports was really fun for me. And I miss those sports days, especially when I watch. Now, this is really stupid. Especially when I watch like Blue Lock. I'm like, man, I did soccer too. Why weren't I ever as good as them? Well, it's fictional, and so it's the stuff they do is feasible but not plausible, right? So in the real world, so there's no like Bodo the King. No, that's stupid. If somebody was called that, they'd really look at you funny. That may be like a nickname a friend gives you, but like, no, something like that. That stuff doesn't happen. I don't know if I want to make them stronger. I don't think I do. I don't really want limiter either. Plushie's all right. Let's get that. But stuff like that is not feasible or plausible, I should say. Like you're not. I mean, the whole Blue Lock idea is silly in and of itself, but it's so cool and it's so fun to watch that I don't care how silly it may seem in real life, because it's fiction. Homie, I get away with it. But that's kind of nice. I got the fire and ice combo. Let's go. Now I kind of want a chicken's feather for the revive. But it's just so cool. It is really cool. And it's got like a 9.8 score. I'm like, wow, deserved, but like, yeah. But yeah, that's really cool. And I totally benched those episodes in a day or two. Like, I don't watch a ton of anime anymore. But when I do find something I like, the reason I don't watch a ton of anime is because I bench it all. I find something I like, I bench it all in a day or two, so that I don't have anything else to watch, because I've literally watched all I can. Oh gosh, I'm getting a little greedy for this. Extra potato. Yeah. I just, because I find something I like and I finish it in 2 days. So I wonder why I don't have any anime to watch. Cause I benched like 5 episodes of, like 4.5. I stopped halfway through because I wanted to just see the outcome of the fight before I went to bed. I stopped Records of Ragnarok, but I got through 1/3 of it. So if I go back and watch it tonight, I will just take less damage and hopefully kill. I will get through another 1/3, and the next day I'll get through another 1/3, and I'll finish it in 3 days. Like, oh no, I don't have any more anime to watch. Oh no. What a shame. But then I realized, wait, that's because I just literally finished it in like a day or two. Same thing with One Piece, right? Like, I don't watch the episodes as they come out anymore, just because if I watch it, I'll be disappointed, because I'll be excited for the next one. So I wait until a few come out, and then I'll watch them all in one go. So that's where, and I keep up more with the manga than I do the anime with One Piece. But apparently the most recent episode was actually kind of fire. So I'm trying to watch that, but how close is, now we're going back to One Piece. How close is the, because I feel like it's really close. They're all kind of bad. I guess I get just bandages. How close is it till Gear 5th? Spoilers, but yeah, you know, you've seen it. I guarantee you've seen Luffy Gear 5th. And even then, I say he gets Gear 5th, it's not like you know what it looks like or anything. He gets Gear 5th. I don't know when that's going to be animated or not. I'm trying to think where he is right now. So he, like, Momo just turned into a dragon. They flew up, and now, Luffy and what's her name? Kaido's son, daughter. Weird. Why am I just blanking on the name? I don't know. Anyways, not important. Kinda is, but not important. Blanking on the name. They're fighting Kaido now. I think she leaves, so it's just them. He gets bodied one more time, and then he turns Gear 5th. But we have still yet to have did that happen, or has it happened? Not happened yet. No, Zoro versus King hasn't happened, so we need to have that be a thing. And then we need Sanji's whole, oh my gosh, I hit a woman thing. Or did that happen already too? I know the Zoro King thing hasn't happened, but did the whole Sanji thing happen yet? Where he's like, oh my gosh, the scientific things that I had as a child are finally kicking in like 20 years later. But then it turns out he's framed and he never hits a woman. But he has that whole emotional thing. But I don't think those have yet to happen. So all that needs to happen. It's going to be like another 30 or so episodes probably. Which, if they come out every week, is, oh gosh, we're a few months away. Maybe even a year away from Gear 5th, honestly. Nah, probably closer than I think, but farther. Anyways, just like something else that I thought was really cool, like Luffy's Japanese voice actor said she wanted to, yes, his voice actor is a she. Throws me off when things like that happen, but remember, Goku's voice actor is also a girl. So ponder that when you will. Japanese side at least. But Luffy's voice actor, Japanese voice actor, said she wanted to end her career with One Piece finishing. With her finishing Luffy's voice acting until the very end. And I was like, man, that's good. That's also good. Shows how much like respect the voice actors give the Oda sensei too. Man, I'm just not killing them. I guess my damage isn't that great. But oof, this is rough. But yeah, I thought that was really cool as well. I was like, dang, let's go. That's a lot of dedication right there. Cause she's I believe she's older. I don't know the exact name of Luffy's voice actor, but she's an older lady, right? And so I think I'd probably be it. She's looking to retire soonish. But then she's like, you know what? I want to finish Luffy. My role as Luffy has not ended yet until the season ends. And I'm like, man, mad respect. Oh, I'm taking reduced damage too. It's lagging a ton because there's so many effects on screen. Because I just can't kill any of the little bread dogs. Let's get the revive. I think I'm gonna need it. I think I will die here. I'll be honest, I just will die. Oh, that looks cool. Like the fire and ice all shooting in one direction. That looks cool. Ooh. Quick screenshot. Oh, speaking of that, my oh gosh. Where do I go? Stay here. Go out. I need. I woke up, I was ready to stream. I was like, you know what, I'm just not gonna eat because I want more time to stream before work. So I woke up, I was ready to stream. I go in, start making the broadcast. I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't make a thumbnail for this one. And so that's why the thumbnail is a little bit lazy for this stream, because I made it in like 5 minutes. So it's a little lazy, I will admit. But that's just because I wanted to stream, like actually stream. Okay, let's ult. I think I'll get it back if I don't kill her by the next time. So yeah, a little bit lazy. I do apologize for that, but I just wanted to stream, so I made it real fast. But now that that's said, I don't have any thumbnails made, so tonight I need to go through and make the thumbnails, especially for the One Piece thing. But I think I'll have time either tonight or tomorrow before work to make those. Please die, respectfully, in Minecraft. Have I actually beaten hard mode as Mio before? I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna do it here, obviously. I don't think there's any way I'll lose. Yeah, no. I don't know if I beat hard mode as her before, but there we go. That is hard mode done. And with 19,000 coins, that is probably what I'll have. I don't think I'll play this game by myself before the next update, just because there are other things I want to do. But that is probably what I'll have leading into the next stream. And hopefully that will be enough to actually get all the new characters. But even if it isn't, all I need is one, and then I'll play the first one. Who will I play first? I don't know. I'll get into that next stream when I actually unlock them. I'm thinking Ayame, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll unlock them all. I'll read through them all, and well, just the basics and the supers, because those are all that's displayed. But yeah. Hopefully, I don't know about new outfits or anything. Like, you know how Myth has their outfits, like different character outfits. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to do that. Well, looks like I'm starting with 18,000 next time. But yeah, these are what I was trying to do. Yeah, that is what I will be starting with next time, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun seeing all the new items and the new characters. So I'm looking forward to that. But with that being said, Soda fans, thank you for coming out, and look forward to next week, next 2 weeks. One Piece Odyssey, some Fate on the side with the new Holy Grail event. I'll figure out how to set that up, and then a new update with HoloCure, and then next season with Overwatch. I don't know if I'll stream the next season of Overwatch right away, but I'll definitely try it by myself, and then we'll see where I go from there. But anyways, once again, thank you, Soda fans, for coming, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.